Bump, bump, ba-da-dum, bump, bump. Bring. Oh, happy Thursday and a happy Bindi to everybody out there. Welcome to another edition of the Blue Review presented by LAX. I'm Marcus Grant alongside Greg Bergman and Parker Bell, and it is a beautiful Thursday because the Dodgers, they get another win. A 4-3 win in extra innings over the San Diego Padres.
Bottom of the ninth. Bottom of the ninth. No.
Oh, you're right. You are correct. Yes, you know why? Because I had it in my head that this whole thing was set up for a dramatic Michael Conforto walk-off in the team. And instead, Will Smith is like, nah, we'll just take care of business right now.
I got it. I got this, guys. Don't worry about it.
I got this. Don't worry about it. We will talk about that. We will talk about the Padres. I know this is not I don't know what they would call it. The
Brown review.
The Brown downtown. Like, I have no idea.
Brown analytics.
There it is, but there is a conversation to be had there. But first, let's give a shout out to the folks at LAX, Los Angeles International Airport. They are transforming the travel experience. They are saving guest time. The People Mover train expected to be coming early next year. So for more information, you go to flylax.com/transforminglax. So, Greg, 5 of the first 6 the Dodgers have won against the Padres. They are opening up their lead in the National League West right now. And look, let's start at the beginning, right? Because Sheehan was making his return yesterday. He gives them 4 innings, gives up 1 run on 3 hits. 6 strikeouts. What did you see from Sheehan yesterday?
So I'm going to be honest with you because I was watching it on the TV, but I was also in studio doing a special show for the sale of the Los Angeles Lakers over to Mark Walter. So I didn't get to see exactly how he pitched. I did see that he struck out 6 guys, and the only thing that he was able to give up, the only run he gave up was because Tommy Edman botched the ball. And the only reason that Justin Robleski gave up a couple of runs in the top of the 9th was because Tommy Edman botched the ball. So I saw basically after Sheehan left. But from everything that I saw in the highlights that I watched, just being honest, is that he looked really good. He looked kind of like the guy he was before. His fastball looked like he had a ton of velocity on it, and he was just pumping fastballs by these guys. And like Parker, you said something the other day, and I was thinking about the exact same thing. I was going to make a bet on Sheehan for under on the strikeouts because that's what everything that I saw was saying to do. Because the Padres are a team that don't strike out. They consistently have contact. Not that kind of team. And he just went crazy, Parker.
By the time we reached 4Ks, I was like, wow, I'm really bad at this betting thing. And what's funny is it's like 6Ks. You don't expect it after obviously some great performances down there in the OKC. You still think, okay, it's only his first game back. You saw kind of what Shohei did after his first game back in 2 years. You expect them to be amped up. And I just praise and give credit to Sheehan for his maturity and his just the ability to go out there, do his thing after so long. Shout out to him and Robo for holding down the fort, getting the chance to go to Yamamoto with an actual bullpen. This is a good, really, really, really good experience. And it was fun to be at.
Yeah, I'm sorry, you were out there last night. So you got to see it firsthand. I mean, Sheehan came back and was really, really on point to your point, Greg. If Tommy Edman makes that play on a ball with 2 outs, then he gets out of it with no runs scored. But either way, still a great return for Sheehan. So very excited to see him back in the mix there for the Dodgers. So we'll see what happens for his next turn in the rotation. But the other part of this was Justin Robleski, because that, I think, was where everybody started to get a little bit nervous because we didn't know what to expect from Robleski. Previously, it hadn't particularly been great. And I mean, Greg, the way we were talking about it the night before in the text chain and even a little bit on the show yesterday was that somebody might have to wear it, right? After the Dodgers went and chased the win on Tuesday night and they ended up getting that win, but they did have to go deep into the bullpen and use some guys for a 3rd day in a row. We felt like somebody might just have to sort of pull a Matt Sauer, a Brent Honeywell. I don't know what we're calling it. Are we calling it the Honeywell? Are we calling it the Sauer? I'm not really sure.
Always the Honeywell. Always
the Honeywell.
Call it the turtleneck.
All right. Well, yes. The turtleneck. Yeah, turtleneck. Exactly. You have to take the turtleneck. That's not what happened with Robo last night. He was fantastic, and I felt a little bit bad because, he ended up going to the bottom of the ninth, not through any fault of his own, really. He got the double play ground ball. They just couldn't turn it. But other than that, man, Robleski was lights out last night.
And the thing that I loved most about it, and they kept showing him in the dugout, he was just like stomping around with like a man on fire, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get these dudes. I'm coming after them. Yeah, like he was just like a rabid dog. It was pretty crazy what he was doing there. But yeah, it was really great to see it because we've talked about Justin Robleski so many times and the fact that he was getting hit and he was getting hit hard, and that if he was going to come in, for the most part, he was going to be the guy to wear it. Except he did wear it without having to give up any runs, which was really, really nice. The fact of the matter is that now the Dodgers beat the Padres three games in a row right now, and 5 of the last 6. And these last 3 games were bullpen games.
Mm-hmm.
They got through it on bullpen games, and they got through it on bullpen games where they actually saved their bullpen at the exact same time, which is kind of like a very thin line to balance, and they did it really, really well. If you told me if they were going to go only 2 starters or 2 pitchers, Sheehan and Robleski, I thought they got blasted on. I thought it was just destroyed. Instead, they give up 3 runs, but like it really, for all the issues that we talked about, and we're really, really good. And really, if you think about it, you're like, oh, okay, these guys can really come into play later on down the line. I thought Dave did a great job leaving Robo in that game in the 9th, even after he gave the 2 runs as well.
Yeah, I think that was the big thing for me, Parker, is that when he got into trouble, I was expecting the hook to come, right? And again, like, he gives up the leadoff single, gets the ground ball that should have gotten at least 1, more likely 2 if Edman catches it cleanly, and then another single to load the bases. I thought that's when the bullpen help was coming. When Dave sat in the dugout, then my thought, Parker, was, well, they're either going to win it or lose it with Justin Robleski. There's not going to be any help on the way. Like, kid, this is up to you to figure it out.
This game was just we're going to win it or lose it type of game, because when they brought on Will Smith, I thought it was funny because it wasn't for Dalton. Yeah. And so in my mind, I'm sitting there in the stadium and I look over to producer DeAndre and I'm like, what's the plan for extras? And then
what did DeAndre say? I don't know. What's
and I texted the group chat. I'm like, do we have plans for extras? Is it just F extras? And then I go, yeah, it's F extras because Willie Hills. But it was a unique game because, yeah, Dave managed this in a sense of, we don't really have much after Robo, so why don't we just let him wear it? And credit to both of them. They were right. He got out of it, and it's not just that he got out of it. The first pitch strikes all game. I think what was most impressive, I believe he was like 11 of 20, something around those numbers, where it was just first pitch strike, and he was hitting that strike zone exactly how he should have. So despite being super antsy, he was hitting his spots, and that was really good.
Yeah, I mean, it was amazing to see. My only thought about extras, by the way, if it had gotten there, is I guess they just would have burned Will Smith. I mean, that's all I could have thought is because when he pinch hit for Kike, so that would have meant probably Conforto coming in to play the outfield. And yeah, you just lost Will Smith for the rest of the game. Is the best I could figure out there. Something I saw in the chat, and we talked about it before the show as well. It was Jazz Meat, who basically said the Padres only have 3 hitters.
Yes.
I'm not even sure that they have 3 right now. They've got Machado. There's no doubt about that. And then I guess if you add up the combination of like Tatis, Arias, Cronenworth, Sheets, maybe you get to 3. I mean, just this is an offensively challenged team, Greg, which is, I think, really going to be their Achilles heel when they try to chase the division. Yeah, they can pitch well, but they just can't score runs.
So this is something that I think is a really interesting topic, and hold on, chat. We're going to talk about the Padres for a little bit, but don't worry, we're gonna talk badly about
it. It won't be anything good. It won't be anything positive.
But this is going to be a Padres conversation for a minute. Yeah, they have 3 guys, and Tatis was one of the hottest hitters coming into coming into this series. He just got pretty much shut down last night, and really the night before. He was good in game 1, had a couple of hits in game 2, but it really was kind of not just little singles. He's not the power hitter that he was before when he had 41, 42 home runs. He doesn't get more than 20, 25 now. His shoulder injuries and all those things. So yeah, he's still a good hitter and he's a scary hitter, but it's just not the power that you're worried about as much anymore. Arise is a very good hitter. He's going to get singles. He's going to get on base, and he's going to move guys around. So if you get those 2 guys on Machado, that's your 3. Those are your 3 guys. But anything after those 3 is nothing. Gavin Sheets doesn't scare me at all. Obviously, Xander Bogaerts doesn't scare me. He did grounded into double plays. He did get that hit last night, but really nothing there.
That's my fault.
That was your fault. Did you say something?
I did clearly yell out in the stands, "Oh, don't worry, he plays for us."
Which is a good line. That was a good line, Parker. I give you full credit for that. But there's a conversation here about just the way obviously ownership is a big deal right now in Los Angeles with the Mark Walter and TWG group buying the Lakers. They own the Dodgers, and they are doing it the right way, which you're talking about 100 times. They have the Dodgers have the 4th best farm system preseason rankings according to Baseball America. I'm not sure what the midseason rankings are. I couldn't find it, but they're 4th overall. The Padres are 25th. They sold themselves they gave up the farm to get Juan Soto. Then they traded him away for Higashioka, who's no longer here, and Michael King, who is injured. I think there's other pieces in it, but wasn't big enough. Then they traded away the farm again. 4 prospects. I think it's 1, 2, 4, and 24, or 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 5. I don't know. It's whatever it is. 4 guys for Tanner Scott. Tanner Scott then left in free agency to where? The Dodgers.
The Dodgers.
So they are just now, they're a mess, Marcus. The Padres are a mess, and it is now within the entire organization, and I don't know where they're going to get better. I don't know how they're going to trade to get better.
That's the thing, is that now, because they emptied out the farm system to make some of these moves, they don't really have a whole lot to offer to another team and to try and either build fill holes on the major league team or replenish the farm system. They just are really shorthanded right now. The other part of this is it just seems like they haven't committed to a strategy over the last few years, right? Either it's we're going to empty the clip on the farm system and try to rebuild the major league club, or we're going to go out and we're going to spend and try to build the major league club that way. But then they also tore everything down right afterwards. So it's just not, there's just no coherent vision there in San Diego. Now, Dodger fans, they're not going to cry about that. They're not going to be sad about that. But there just seems to be no real vision for how to build this team down there. And so because of that, it feels like they're going to be competitive, but never really get over the hump because they just, they don't stick to any one thing before they scrap it and start over again.
It's a real 1 second part. It's also the management of what they're doing. The major league club is being managed poorly. The best guys that they have in the bullpen are being used consistently. We talk a lot about the Dodgers and their bullpen and how much they've been used and how taxed they are, but it's a whole bunch of different guys. And they also bring guys in just to pitch once or twice, and then they DFA them and say, okay, bye. Thank you for your service. You can go now. And they don't completely tax their bullpen. And what's happening with the Padres, this is why you're seeing Robert Suarez starting to just completely blow up now. He gave up 5 on Saturday. He gave it up to Will Smith last night. Those guys are getting overly taxed because they only have a few guys, whereas the Dodgers just say, okay, we're going to give you a bunch of guys. We may lose some games, but and some guys Lou Trevino may hit people and not do very well, but he's going to throw someone out at first or second. So that you got that.
He is a pickoff specialist, apparently, according to
Baseball Reference. He is,
It's unique. I was looking over at the top 100 baseball prospects just to see. Obviously, Dodgers for years now have had at least you're hovering around 3 or 4 guys, 2 to 3 guys on that list every year. Padres, they now only have 1. Ethan Salas, I think, was a catcher. I watched him one time while he was out with the Lake Elsinore Storm. It's a shame that you're seeing just a team managed in a way that, is honestly just like the team down south two teams down south are being managed terribly. And what's funny is that the rate that the season is going, you actually might see, and it's weird enough, the red team be better than the brown team if the Padres are going to continue playing like you just mentioned, Greg.
I mean, look, man, the Angels have been playing some pretty good baseball lately. I mean, they went into to Yankee Stadium and gave the Yankees fits a little bit. In fact, they've won 3 in a row against what are they? They're 6-0 at Dodger Stadium and Yankee Stadium this year. The Angels are, which
from the brown review to the red review,
baseball,
back to the blue review though.
Baseball is stupid. Part 1,247.
Very much.
So anyway, back to the Dodgers, because that's really what we're all here for last night. I did see this in the Lucy asking, any thoughts on Mookie's struggles? He's had some horrible at-bats lately. Yeah, Greg, it's been uncharacteristic because he's been first pitch swinging, which is not like Mookie. He's been doing that a lot lately. It just feels like a lot of pop-ups. He just seems to be in a slump right now.
Yeah, I saw a note. I'm going to try and find it while talking about it, but he has not been doing very well at all. I think was it Chad Moriyama put it out there that I think it's over a longer period of time than we're even thinking about. This slump is something that is pretty big at this point. It's over as like no, I know who it was. It was from Dodger Blue. I'll find it in just a minute after. But this slump is going on for a long time. This is over 600 at-bats worth of a slump from Mookie Betts. It's something where you're going to get somebody big at times, or he's going to do well at times, but he's having trouble right now. And hopefully he can figure that out before the postseason. But keep going with this while I look that up. Sorry.
Yeah, well, I'm looking. I mean, it's been a while since his last multi-hit game, June 7th. That was at St. Louis. When it seemed like he was actually starting to get hot because he had a couple of hits against the Mets in the finale. He had 3 hits back-to-back games against the Cardinals. Since then, no multi-hit games, just not really able to come up with anything. Over the last 10 games, looking at this right now, 158, 1 homer, 5 runs batted in. It's been a slug, Parker. But, what's funny is that as much as we are noticing it, we're acknowledging it. I don't know. I feel like we also believe that it's Mookie Betts and he's going to come out of this thing, right?
1 second, Parker. I found the tweet. It's entering tonight. Mookie had a 761 OPS over his last 662 plate appearances. Mm-hmm. In that stretch, he's hitting 260 with a 337 on base and a 424 slug with a 114 WRC plus. Those are a bunch of weird numbers that I understand, but I don't want to go into it. That's a
Jeff Spiegel thing.
Yes. That's a large enough sample size to call it more than a slump. So that was from Blake Williams of Dodger Blue, and that is a large sample size. That is a full season of sample size.
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure. I was like, let's check at least his last 100 games, see what's going on. And just to solidify your point, only hitting 254 with 15 homers. It's a different Mookie than we initially had. And whether or not this is the thing. I mean, Dodgers play for the playoffs, and Dodgers are a September baseball team. Mookie is a September baseball player, and while he has had his playoff struggles, he's still the kind of guy that comes up big in those moments. So, Marcus, it'll be interesting to watch the rest of the season to see if he can figure this out. Is this one of those things where we mentioned a few times the defensive switch?
Yeah.
Has it really ruined his at-bats?
It's a good question because as the offense has sort of declined, it feels like the defense has improved. Like watching him play shortstop on a day-to-day basis, he looks a lot more comfortable. Eric Karros made the point, he made a really nice play a couple nights ago, and Karros was like, it's a really nice play. He's like, I'm used to seeing it now, right? Like Mookie's no longer just an athlete playing shortstop. He's a shortstop. And
was it the little hop play?
Yeah, I think it's one. That's what it was.
That one was fun.
Like I said, the offense has not been there defensively, though. It seems like he is improving over at shortstop. You're feeling a lot more comfortable, whereas not really the question. Every now and then he might have a low throw or something like that, but really looks very, very consistent and confident over there at shortstop. Other thing about this, can you say Freddie Freeman is in a slump? I mean, it's weird to say that because the dude's hitting 330 right now. But you look at him and, he he'll hit a single through the hole or he'll line one to left field. And he just looks so disgusted with himself because he's just not hitting for power. This is like the weirdest slump I think I've ever seen, Greg.
So yeah, it is a weird slump, but he had a hit last night that kind of, you feel like that he got out of it. It was well hit. It was barreled. It was a single, but it was hit on the barrel and was not a ground ball that just got through. It was over the Ariza's head. And it was like, okay, that was a solid hit. So I trust that Freddie is going to come out of it. But I was thinking about this last night too. Shohei, Mookie, Freddie, that, and even Teo, you can even go into that. Besides Will Smith, the top of the order is not the ones producing right now.
No,
the producers are all at the bottom of the lineup. It's Muncy, it's Pages, especially Pages. So Edmund has started to get a little bit hotter. We got to finally see Kim last night. Shohei's going to be fine. Freddie's going to be fine. Teo, I'm hoping will be fine. Mookie is having a little bit of an issue right now, and I think that this is something that needs to be looked at. I was wondering also, like, we're saying maybe this is over the because of where he is at shortstop. It could be some of that because he's been focused so much on that, but also he barely played shortstop last year and they moved him and he played some second. He played right field. He moved him to right field. It was still kind of happening. It may be where he hits in the lineup and everybody's going to say, move him down in the lineup because he's struggling. I have been very, very, very vocal about Shohei Lee staying in the leadoff spot as much as you have, Marcus. Sorry, that was an unnecessary shot.
I earned it, man. I earned that one.
I realized it after I said it.
That was a good callback.
But Mookie is where he's always hit better was in the leadoff spot. So if he's struggling and if that is something that could possibly help him, then maybe that's the idea. But also the other side of that token is that, do you give more at bats to the guy that is struggling? It's like when he is batting first, he has almost a 300 batting. It's 296 with a 913 OPS. When he's batting second, it goes down to 282 to a 822 OPS, and then it just keeps dropping and dropping as he moves further down the line. So his normal spot is in that number one spot. I don't know. That might be something to think about.
Very well could be. Definitely keep an eye on it. I think we know that he's going to get the playing time. He's going to get the at bat, so that's not going to be an issue. So we'll see whether or not he's able to kind of turn things around. If nothing else, the hope is that Mookie is ready to go once this team gets to September and October when they need him the most. Also, give Haesung Kim more at bats.
Yes, please.
That's all I really have on that. Just give him more at bats.
Thank you, Lara, for the super chat there.
That was awesome.
Awesome. She's right. 30 minutes fly by. I wanted to make sure before this episode ended, guys, to thank our friends at CHLA. Yesterday was our LADV-SD experience with Scott Kaplan, and I wanted to thank Scott as well for being a tremendous host to our winner, Garrett, who, lovely guy. He loves the station. He was ranking all the hosts. It was amazing. I have some content of that. Garrett is a high-functioning on the spectrum adult, so it was really amazing to see Cappy, DeAndre, give him a great experience. And to top it all off, he had a Will Smith shirt on, guys.
There you go.
It doesn't get any better than that.
Perfect ending to the night. Then that's fantastic for sure. Tonight, Yamamoto trying to power the Dodgers to a 4-game sweep. Fellas, does he get more than one run of support?
God, I hope so. They've been scoring runs recently. If he deserves one just after what happened the last few times. The one that he had the last Saturday when he threw when he gave no runs and they got no runs support.
And they got no runs for him.
He deserves it here. And he does need to pitch well today. It will be pretty bad if he does not pitch well today.
Yeah, so that one will get going tonight, 7:10 in the finale of the series. Also, it is the finale of this death march where the Dodgers right now 17-11. They have expanded their lead in the division. It was half a game when they started. It is now 4.5 games going into tonight over the Giants, 6 games over the Padres. So they have really extended. So again, I say, take that, Bill Plaschke. Anyway, That'll do it for this edition of the Blue Review presented by LAX. Thanks to everybody in the chat for hanging out with us. We do agree 30 minutes does fly by. We are glad that you could be a part of it. Thanks to LAX as well. Thanks to Anthony Jex for getting us up and on the interwebs. Back with you tomorrow, 8:30 to 8:55. Stick around. Travis and DeMarco coming up on the ESPN LA YouTube channel. For Parker, for Greg, I am Marcus. This has been the Blue Review. We will see you tomorrow.
See you. Bye.